What's up, North County? You're tuned into the Backstage Pass with the Rebel Bear. Tonight, my guests are nothing but Robbie Stoppel and Mr. H.A. Staford of Nothing But Trouble. How you doing, guys?
Great.
Thank you so much for coming in. I truly appreciate it. How was the drive in? Good?
A long drive up from Santa Maria, but
It is a little bit, huh?
love it up here.
Well, we got to get you milled in to the North County people and let them know about you guys.
That's why we're here.
Let them know that you're coming to town. You were in town last night or the other night, and you're coming to town this weekend, right?
Saturday night,
Saturday night. What time is that?
7 o'clock.
And where's this?
The Poorhouse.
We're at the Poorhouse.
Poorhouse in Paso Robles. That's what we got
First
right
time.
there.
Yeah, first
Saturday
time.
night, February 1st at 7 p.m., $5 cover. Check these guys. You guys are a 90s tribute band? What's the deal?
90s alternative.
90s alternative. So what kind of songs are you guys rolling with?
Stone Temple Pilots, like Soundgarden, Pearl Jam.
Right.
We do quite a variety of their stuff. Rage Against the Machine.
Cool.
We like kind of the harder edge, heavier stuff from that.
Rob
we even
Zombie,
yeah.
Kid Rock, we would do that.
Now, you guys aren't necessarily what I would consider, well, now some people would consider that to be classic rock, right? So, you know, what I would consider to be classic rock, you guys don't play any of that, right? You know,
Oh, yeah.
like, do you play
We
like,
do
so
that
you,
too,
you do
but-
the Stones or, you know, I mean, because to me,
We do Zeppelin, and we do Old
Oh,
Cheap
okay.
Trick. We do.
so you do a little bit of everything, but
Yeah.
90s alternative.
That's our
is-
focus.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
that's,
right.
that's what we try to, have a little niche for ourselves there with the 90s stuff.
And you kind of do, because there's not, I think there's like maybe one or two other bands that do it, but you know, I haven't really seen them playing around that much. Maybe they're just working on new material, but you guys are banging it out like, you know,
thank you.
as often as possible, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, and then you guys play in a lot of venues down in Santa Maria and all that. So, I mean, you guys are basically the house band there in Oceano. I mean, they love you.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
We
Well,
get a lot of people over there.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
That's
I mean-
our home base.
Yeah, I think
the
so.
Oceano Eagles. Yeah.
It's kind
We
of.
played Harry's. We played all those. We don't play Harry's anymore, but yeah.
It did start down further at another Eagles, and we kind of moved up to this one. Kind of liked it better. I shouldn't say that, but it liked the crowd a little bit better, and we played down in Los Alamos.
Yeah.
That was
Depot.
down there.
And that's the Depot.
Yeah.
And how do you guys like that? I've never had a chance to play there.
We enjoyed it. It was great. Big stage, big room. It was a really good time.
Right.
But they have a lot of issues with permits and the neighbors over there, but
Okay. Kind of like a time issue thing or what?
yeah.
Like the Siren has the Siren when I first started playing there when it was Happy Jacks or whatever it was after that, I kind of forget the name, but when it turned into the Siren and they started to have the big acts and they blew that whole back wall, the whole side wall out and made that stage, that was never there, and there was like a building that
right.
separated them from the trailer park. There's a trailer park on the other side of that wall.
Oh, really?
So that's why their time is so allotted to, I think it's like 10:30 or 11. After that, they can't
I didn't know
play
that.
anymore there. So
I used
that's
to play
the
there
reason.
back when it was Happy Jacks as well.
Yeah. And what was it that before, after that?
It was Happy Jacks, then the loading dock.
Loading Dock. Okay, I'd played. That's how I met the Probes,
Oh.
and then wound up becoming Rock of Ages.
Oh.
Yeah. So, well, that's cool that you got. And have you guys played there often or no? That Siren.
Where?
Siren.
Siren a couple
We
times.
played there. I played there once.
Oh.
Saturday afternoon thing.
Yeah, with
back
Nothing
then
But
they were
Trouble.
that was pre-pandemic, and they were having nothing but tribute bands.
Right.
They rarely had a.
I've played there a
local
few
band.
times with High
Now they're
Voltage.
having more local bands.
Yeah,
so.
which is good. They should cater to more to local.
Yeah.
All the venues should cater more to the local bands. It's great to have the out of town tributes and the other out of town bands.
yeah.
That's awesome. But you know, they need to cater to the local bands for the fact that in the winter months and in, you know, times when those bands aren't around or those bands aren't booking there, you know, we're what keeps the doors open, basically.
true.
You know, people want to come see music. Well, we're the music, you know, which is important. You know, it really is. it's kind of a give and take thing for the venues and the artists, which I think is really
the community.
Yeah, totally. You got to support the community. So let's start off with you, HA. Now, you guys were friends before you. I understand you were in the Navy.
Yeah, I'm from Santa Maria.
Right.
And in 1986, I left and joined the Navy, and I ended up in the Desert Shield, Desert Storm thing. I was deployed over there for
Well,
the
God
whole
bless.
thing.
Thank you for your service.
And then got out about a year later, and then I never thought I'd move back to California.
Right.
But things happened. And
Where were
ended
you
up moving
stationed
back
at that
here.
then?
I was stationed in Cecil Field, Florida, which is Jacksonville.
Okay,
So
and
North
that's where you were
Florida.
living?
Yeah. So I played in bands there. I actually played on the flight deck of the USS Saratoga.
No way.
Put a band together on the ship because
Holy
ain't nothing
shit.
else to do.
That is great, bro. That's
we were
awesome.
going through the Suez Canal. It was beer day.
That's slick.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
I tried to find pictures of it, but
These are the stories, people, I'm talking about right here.
yeah.
Fucking it, that's cool.
Yeah, I can't find a picture. I went through the Suez Canal 6 times.
Wow,
At 3
right on.
beer days, we rarely went to shore. So
Right.
anyway, yeah.
Well, thank you for your service on
Yeah.
that.
So in 97, I moved back here.
Okay.
And that's about 3 years after that, I started playing music again here. And that's when Trouble in Paradise started.
And who was all in that?
Originally, it was me and a guy named Raymond Hodgkinson. He played bass.
Uh-huh.
And we were looking around. We actually worked with Jeff Cannon from scratch briefly.
Oh, okay. I love Jeff.
Yeah,
Great guy.
Yeah. So that was way back in
Yeah.
like 1999 or something. Then we hooked up with Dittman, John Dittman.
Another great guy,
and
awesome
drums.
drummer.
And so we were a 3-piece, and we got ourselves into Harry's somehow. And they wanted 4 people. You probably know the
Oh,
deal
yeah, I
on
know the
that.
deal with Harry's. They
So,
want 4 people.
The first time we played there, we had this guy named Royce who worked with Raymond sitting up there. And John had an electronic drum set, so we brought 2 of his drums and on this little stand with a throne, and he sat in between me and John on the Harry stage hitting those things. He played the whole night with us, but you couldn't hear anything he was doing.
You had it turned off.
It was just so he had the 4th guy.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
So,
Fuck you, Harry's.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So then Eric Durbage came along.
Right.
And
Was he playing guitar or bass?
Well, at first he was playing inaudibly, and you know how good Eric is.
Oh, Eric, I love Eric.
He was just up there playing, just like Royce, but he was just turning his guitar down.
No way.
So then we got him starting to play.
The Milli Vanilli of the Central Coast. I love it.
Yeah, so because we wanted our sound to sound like it did,
Right,
you
totally.
know? 3-piece.
Right.
So then we he started playing keyboard, so we got "Walking on the Sun" by Smash Mouth
Right.
into the lineup, and then I was going, well, if he's gonna play, we might as well.
You had Eric on a keyboard?
Yeah, I got him playing keyboards, and so.
That's great.
So we went, well, he's a hell of a guitar player. Let's
Super.
just add him to the band. And then the problem with Harry's is over. We got 4 guys. And then we played that whole year. Eric became a part of the band.
So
And,
he's one of those guys that I've played with him, and I remember when the first time I ever played with him, I realized at that time that I got up to play with him that he had no foot sweat, no pedals at all, nothing.
Nope, it doesn't.
And I was like, where are your pedals?
He does it with
He goes,
his hands.
I don't do that. He goes, it's all here. And I was like, that's the guy.
he
right
doesn't
there.
even channel switch.
Yeah, no, he
does
doesn't.
it all right there.
Everything's from his
he's
hands and guitars,
amazing,
which is
amazing
really,
musician.
really impressive. And his dynamics,
Well, yeah.
to be able to do that and have that kind of dynamics, really impressive. Yeah. So that was Trouble in Paradise.
Yeah, and that faded away in around 2007, 2008. Raymond left the band about 2005, and Steve Phillip, who's now in the Heavy Cats, he came on as bass, and we had gigs out the ass, so we didn't have time to waste. We just got somebody, and
Right.
we turned into a classic rock band. We were doing the same stuff we're doing in Nothing But Trouble, and it was a real challenge back then because it was brand new stuff.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Yeah.
it was
just coming out. We're going to do it.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
fresh, and then we'd go to Camosi's and Cambria, and you got to play some classic rock. You're going to run all our old timers out of here. So we had a hell of a time getting gigs.
Right.
So we ended up he came into the band and we were doing all kinds of Lou Reed and all kinds of, Santana and stuff like that. And I just got bored with that. I like the 90s stuff. So that band just kind of fizzled out. And then 2009, I started Nothing But Trouble with Eric Durbage on bass, me on guitar, and Randy Myrick on drums. And we did that for a couple of years.
And how did you two meet? You met in high school?
Well, I've known him since before high school. We played in Little League baseball together. He doesn't remember me, but I remember him.
I mean, I can pull up the pictures and stuff and see him. I think we were on a team together, if I'm not mistaken, a football team. It's stuff like that, yeah.
So you guys have, what, 40 years?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is really cool. I have a few friends like that where I've,
He came into Nothing But Trouble before Midlife Crisis started, which he was in that band.
Yeah.
Right.
Just briefly.
And now, Robbie, what's kind of your background, your history? When did you first start? How did that happen?
Started in junior high school because of Terry Belmore.
Okay.
He
of
wanted
the,
to
of
start
the
a band.
Belmores.
He wanted to start a band. And so we started a band, and we got Eric. We were all in junior high school.
Right.
And we got a drummer. His name was Tom Herman. And we started this band, Hot Ice. And that's when I met Eric. And even back then, he was like he is now. It was crazy. He was like a prodigy or something. I don't know. And unfortunately, our drummer was surfing and got killed.
Oh, no.
While we were in high school, yeah. So that kind of foiled. And then from there, me and Terry, and we got Hank Barber, and we started the City Limits.
Okay.
And we brought in this girl that Terry was dating, Colleen Carlson.
Oh, okay. You mentioned to me about her.
She
Colleen,
was fantastic. Right? That was City Limit. And
she was a singer, right?
Yeah. We were 19 years old, and we got a house job at a Holiday Inn in Santa Maria. And we started playing bars at 19.
Cool.
Yeah. And Terry and Colleen.
So you were the house band.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
Nice.
And we got fired because Terry decided to pull his pants down in the middle of a song for some reason. Turn around and show everybody his ass.
Nice.
And we got fired.
I remember in high school, one of the dances or something, or no, it was a
rally.
Time.
It was a rally, yeah.
And they were all playing, dressed up as Kiss.
Yeah, that was us.
Terry.
Me and Terry and Hank.
Did Terry pull his pants down?
No, not there. I may have, but yeah. And then Terry and Colleen took off to work with Rocky Blythe,
Okay.
Jim Stromberg.
I just spoke to not Rock Blythe. Just spoke to those guys the other day, though.
Trying to think. Doug Tomoko was playing bass, and Scott. I can't remember Scott's last name. They were an excellent band. They kind of dominated Santa Maria area.
Right.
Yeah, and I had a guy call me and wanted me to play country. And that's right when Urban Cowboy came out, and everybody wanted to line dance. And I played country for 13 years, I think it was.
And what was the name of that band?
Hot Shots.
Hot
John
Shots.
Paul Stinson and a guy named Dan McGuire. Mike Dean was in it prior to me, but played with us.
Right.
And also Ron, what the heck's Ron's last name? Ron Miller.
John Paul Stinson, great guy, great drummer.
Yeah. We'd laugh at him, though, because we were playing straight country, and he'd show up with a Neil Peart drum set.
Wow. Well, hey, let's get back to that. We're going to circle back on that and talk about that part with you guys, and then get to kind of how you guys actually transpired into what you are right now. So, hey, we'll be right back. Stay tuned. We're here with Nothing But Trouble, Backstage Pass.
Hi, it's Alex with Suprema Meat Market. We are a Mexican meat market with a taqueria. Come enjoy our high-quality cuts and meats. We offer choice and prime Harris Ranch beef, as well as chicken, seafood, and pork items. In the taqueria, all of our tacos come with handmade tortillas. We also offer specialty items like chilaquiles and chile rellenos. Come enjoy Taco Tuesday with Suprema. We offer our tacos at $1.99 each. Suprema Meat Market is located at 8950 Montecito Avenue in Atascadero.
Are you tired of looking at that worn-out concrete garage floor, patio, or porch? Look no further than MGP Coatings, where customer service reigns supreme. Our team goes above and beyond to ensure your satisfaction every step of the way. Before we even start coating, we meticulously repair your concrete, ensuring a flawless finish that lasts. And here's the best part. Our Pentec coatings are 4 times stronger than epoxy, so they won't chip or peel, making maintenance a breeze. Plus, they come with a limited lifetime warranty. Call us today at 805-952-5301 or check out our Facebook and Instagram and experience the MGP coating difference. Don't wait. Transform your garage, patio, porch, or driveway and become a part of the MGP coating family.
Hey, what's up, North County? This is the Rebel Bear, and you're tuned into the Backstage Pass. I got my buddies from Nothing But Trouble here, Robbie Stoppel and H.A. Staford. We were on break here real quick, and we were talking about a little thing they do on stage. It's kind of like, what would you guys call it?
It's a way to make people drink
salute.
alcohol.
There you go. Yeah, way to make people drink alcohol. You know, when you're performing live, the venues really want you to get people on the floor. That makes them sweaty and hot, and then they have to drink. So the more we make them drink, the better it is for the bands, because it just makes them want to hire bands that make people drink, because it's all about people drinking and making money, right? So they're going to do a thing now. What do you guys call this?
Holler and Swaller. And we have emptied out Fireball at bars before doing this.
Okay,
They've run out of Fireball doing this.
So we have, we here at Backstage Pass have hooked these guys up with a little bit of Fireball, just something to, you know. You guys show us how this is done.
Yeah, this came from Ed Cream when he was the lead singer. He brought this to the band, and we hung on to it.
And he'd say, I'm a Kansas guy, and so I say, I know a guy from Kansas, and he does this thing called Holler and Swaller. What I do is I count to 3, you holler as much as you can, and then you swaller. So we go 1, 2, 3.
Yay! And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Holler and Swaller. So there you go. There's a little bit of rock and roll.
We make the whole bar do it with us.
Yeah, there you go.
Normally, Ed would say it's all about the silence of the swaller, boys.
There you go. Awesome. That is sweet.
We miss Ed, but he's got
After
us
watching Ed, we love you, man.
So, so you guys are where on that last thing we're talking about?
Well,
where you guys were?
Kind of what happened is I quit playing music a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, I got out of the country thing and didn't want to play no more.
Right.
Hank Barber came back in town and insisted I played. So what he did is he manipulated me by getting a job with Gene, which you came in later. I was filling in for Johnny Punches, whose wife was having surgery.
I remember that. Our first show was the cancer bike rally run out in where the earthquake line is.
That's right.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Field.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I remember that.
Hank knew I couldn't say no to Gene, so he got me playing. And what had happened was Gene, on the way back from one of our gigs, he wanted to stop by a friend's house who was having a wedding, and he was playing, and your bass player wasn't there or something. And it was the drummer,
Ray Flores.
Ray Forrest.
And, that was Ray's wedding, right?
Yeah.
I was there.
His reception.
Yeah, I was there.
You guys
That's
all
kind of
came
where we
after
met
your
back
gig.
up again.
Yeah.
And that
Okay.
was kind of the first time I really played his music. And I'll be honest, I was lost. I never played alternative before.
Right.
I always played classic rock and
Right.
southern rock, and alternative's way different.
It is.
Yeah,
it's definitely a different animal.
but it hooked me.
So now you guys started that with Hank Barber, or Hank Barber started that, or how did that happen?
No, Hank wanted to start a band, so he started Midlife Crisis with me, and that kind of started with my sister singing, and we went through that, and kind of what happened was H.A. had hired one of the Central Coast best bass players,
Damian
Pampina.
Oh, okay.
And
I know Damien quite well.
When that happened, that band took off. They just took off. They got really good really fast. Unfortunately, Damien had a seizure.
Right.
And I can't remember if you called me or if Damien called me or if his wife did and wanted me to sit in. And unfortunately, he never came back. And That's where we are now.
He's been filling in ever since.
I've been filling ever since.
Yeah, he was just covering for Damien, and poor Damien
Did you guys know that Damien was in High Voltage?
Yes.
Yeah, he was for
Damien,
a while.
he was in High Voltage for about, I think probably about a year. He played the 1 year anniversary with us at the original Poorhouse, before the Poorhouse was where it's at right now. It was out, I don't even know where, I couldn't even tell you where it was. It was out in some industrial area in Paso. And Copen owned it. And so he sold it to Leslie, and Leslie bought it. And I don't know if he moved it from there over to here. He might have. I think he did. He moved it from that area over there, and then that's. But yeah, Damien played the 1 year.
Yeah, I
anniversary.
remember that.
Yeah.
I remember the promo pictures with him.
And then he also played him. Al Martinez and I started a thing called Copycats.
I remember
Yeah,
Copycat.
I
remember
That's where Ed came in, right?
Demi Solario. Yeah, but way after. Like I had left Copycats. I had left Copycats, and that's how Ed. I started Copycats.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I started Copycats basically with Al and actually no, started Copycats. Originally started with me and Demi and Damien, and then they called in Al, and Al came in, and then that's how Copycats got going, and then I wound up leaving. So
Well, I know this. I know that I've set in and played with many bands in my life, a lot. And when I was asked to fill in for him, for Damien,
right.
it was a little nervy for me because I had a lot of respect for him to begin with. And the guy was a great bass player.
He's the groover.
Yeah.
He has the groove. He has
And
that.
I was thinking, man, I don't know. And once again, when I worked with HA before, we weren't playing. They were going straight on 90s alternative at this point, and these were songs that I think Damien picked some of them, so they were bass heavy to begin with.
Right.
Fell on Black Days.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. They were Hey Man, Nice Shot.
Right.
And I had to learn this stuff like quick, and I'm going, oh, this.
a lot of songs.
There's
where
a
you're
lot of
standing there
songs,
in your
man.
underwear playing the bass line alone.
But I pulled through it, and then we thought we were going to bring him back in. We thought he was going to make it back in. We had him come to Martha's backyard, and he was supposed to play. And he says, I'm going to take the gig. And I said, you know what, I'm going to show up anyways.
Right.
And we paid him anyways. You know, he needed the friggin' money. And I think he made it a set, maybe. Maybe he made it a set.
Wow.
At R&D's when he tried to play again. And
Oh, yeah.
and he said, nah, I just can't do it. And no worries, man.
And that was after his seizure,
Oh, that's
right?
It was
when
after the seizure.
I was there, and he got up and did one, I think it was an AC/DC song with me, and I forget who else was on stage, but he was technically not capable of playing it, and he actually came over to me and said, I can't do this, I'm just going to go. And I'm like, no, stay on stage and just do your thing. People are loving it. And people were.
Yeah.
They were really responding to, he wasn't hitting every note, and he knew it, and he was kind of letting him get to it. And I said, we're here to have fun, man. Just have fun.
Yeah, but that guy, when he would play prior to that.
Oh,
it was
forget
just-
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know it was bothering him,
Yeah, totally. But, people loved him so much, and they still do. I don't know.
Still do.
I don't know how he's doing right now.
I don't talk to him that often, but I do talk to his wife every now and then, and
Right.
they're doing okay.
Right.
She went through a little spat with brain cancer and came through okay.
Good.
Yeah. And
So now, who has all been in Nothing But Trouble from start to finish?
that's him.
It started, like I said before, me, Randy Myrick, and Eric Durbage. Then I decided I wanted to get I didn't want to play guitar and sing and everything
Right.
and have to cover guitar and lead vocals, so I put Eric back on guitar. Eric was playing bass prior to that. He's a great bass player too. He's great at whatever he plays.
yeah,
but
all around.
So, and we got this guy named Brian Z. He came in on bass.
Oh, I know Brian. I haven't seen him in a long time.
And
but I
Doug
know Brian.
Swain. Doug Swain,
On drums.
Smoking Guns.
Right,
yeah.
on drums.
So, and I think he's been in Counterfeit Kings and a few bands.
He was in Devious.
I've known Doug also
Really?
since.
Yeah.
I've known Doug since before I went in the Navy, so in early '80s. So we were a 4-piece, and we did that for a while, and then Doug got mad and called me up and said, "I'm not going to do this anymore."
Why did he get mad?
I don't know. You'd have to ask him. I don't want
Right.
to speak for him.
You didn't ask him?
Yeah,
You
but
didn't ask him at all?
He was done with it. We did a couple years with Doug, and so he quit. He said, "I just don't want to do it anymore." So, and this was right before Christmas, I think, in 2016 or something like that. And so I decided, okay, I'm just gonna take time off and figure out what I want to do. And I met Ed.
Right.
And right before, actually I met Ed right before Doug quit. He came on his birthday, August 28th, which is the same birthday as Eric Dervage. Very strange. So he comes on his birthday, sits in with us at the Eagles in Santa Maria, and just kills it. He plays a set with us. So after Doug quit, I hit him up around Christmas. He was going back to Wichita, Kansas, and I said, give me a call when you get back. And so he got back in January, and Gene Baker hooked me up with Ed in the first place.
Right.
So we started playing. I didn't have a drummer, so I posted on Facebook a vertical column. It just said, I didn't do sentence. I did NBT is looking for a drummer. And Keith Cox from Different Strings tagged John Demko. So I hooked up with Demko and Ed, and they came.
they started in Time
came to
Furnace.
my
And
house.
that was what, like 3-4 years ago, or is that
Oh
longer than
no,
that?
this is
That's way more than
2017.
Really? So John's been in the
2016,
band. John's been in the band that long?
Yeah.
Demko's been in the band
Wow, I
since
didn't
then.
realize that.
Oh, I ain't getting rid of that dude, man. He's a machine. So we tried. I know if somebody's going to fit my band usually right away.
Right.
And I knew John was going to fit. He had previous experience with Time Furnace playing 90s music, so he was already halfway there. He
Right.
didn't have to learn the stuff. And so we took off with, it was me, Ed, Eric Dervage, Brian Z, and Demko. And we played like that for a while, and then Hank Barber came along with Three for All. And Eric pretty much lives off playing music. So there were more gigs to be had with Hank.
Right.
So he left Nothing But Trouble. So I had to take over all the guitar duties. And, everybody didn't think I could play guitar, because I always just let Eric do all the leads
Right,
and
right,
everything.
right.
Because why do them? He can do them.
I don't know. I thought you sounded great last time I saw you play.
I had to, gear
I
back.
did. He called me when Eric left and said, "Do you want to come in and help out?" And I remember telling you, "I think you can do it." Remember that?
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
you can do it.
I
You got to give it
remember.
a shot. And he did. He gave it
That
a
was
shot.
the best thing he ever did.
Yeah.
Singing.
I played at an empty bar in New Quiyama. We played at the Buckhorn to 10 people.
I played to know people. I went to Northern California one night with Devious, and we went up there to play this big, like three band festival show at this place. I think it was like Stockton Rocks or something like that. And we got up there, and there's 3 bands, and one band was the headliner band, and they were the band for the area. And so we were backstage, and we're in roll-in, and we're hanging out, and the stage manager comes up and says, "Hey, there's been a change of plans. 21's going on after you guys, or before you guys." So we're like, okay. And then we thought, well, the place is packed. We're gonna play for their crowd. This is gonna be awesome. They're gonna stick around. They played. The place emptied out. We played to 3 people, 2 girls, 3 girls, and 2 cleanup guys, and the bartenders.
That's a rough one.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. So I've been there. I know what that's like.
If you haven't played an empty room, you haven't played.
But you kind of got to look at it like, this is what we got to do. Well, hey, we're going to come back to this and take a quick break, and we're going to discuss more about how you guys wound up getting Ed Cream. We'll be right back. Stick around. If you're watching or listening or just hanging out, please hit me. I'm looking for people to ask some questions, and I'm looking, but I don't see anybody on there. So come on, join the party. We'll be back.
What's up, North County? This is Teresa Branch with Airflow Filter Service. We are a family-owned business right here in the North County. We have air filters, oils and lubricants, and hydraulic hoses. We provide services that include air filter cleaning, DPF cleaning, and waste oil collection. Come check us out at 1140 Ramada Drive, and we can help you with all your automotive and industrial vehicle needs.
Hi, this is Omid
And Deanna.
at North County Junk Removal. We are a business known for helping our neighbors and our community.
Let us help you save money and get rid of any unwanted items.
And rest assured that our professional team adheres to global standards of safety and recycling. We are fully licensed and insured for your peace of mind.
We are locally owned and operated, and we look forward to helping you with all your junk removal needs.
Please call us at 805-769-6966.
25 years ago.
Back, what's up, North County's Backstage Pass with the Rebel Bear. We're here with the guys from Nothing But Trouble. Ed Cream. What a guy, right? Shoeless Ed Cream.
Master frontman.
Yeah.
Master frontman.
Now, I don't know if he was your singer yet, but I'm on stage one night with Gene Baker, and he and his wife walk in, and I see him, and we're jamming, and I see him, and I'm thinking, that guy's a freaking singer.
Is that it, Harry?
Yeah. So we take a break, and he beelines right to me. Dude, you sound great. And I'm like, thank you. And I'm like, you're a singer, huh? And he says, yeah, how'd you know? I'm like, dude, it's the singer vibe, man. Singers know a singer. And he goes, yeah, and we fist bump each other. And I'm like, do you know any of these? And I grab my set list, and he goes, oh, yeah, man, I love some of these. I'm like, you want to do a few? Get out of here. I'm like, no, I'm serious. I'm like, Gene, come meet my friend Ed. Comes over, and I'm like, Ed, Gene, Ed. I'm like, Ed, Gene's the man, Ed. This is the guy we got to talk to. And I'm like, Ed, Gene, I was thinking about giving Ed a few songs. He goes, oh, yeah, you know Gene.
You know
oh,
Gene.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, I'll do a couple, and you come on up. And I don't know. I think you might have been in the audience that day.
No.
No?
No.
So how did you guys wind up meet him? Because that's what I thought. I thought that you were probably there. It was like a daytime show. It was like a 3 to 7.
No, I wasn't there. Trish Reed, Trish and Tim
Right.
that come to all our shows.
Right.
She met him at, she worked with him at C&D Aerospace in
yeah,
Santa
that's
Maria.
right, that's right.
And she told him, go up to Harry's and see your band. And that's what got him to meet Gene. Well, then Gene told him apparently that night, or that day, I need to find you a band. And he hit me up. He goes, I got a singer. Well, I was singing, and I'm not a good singer, but
Right.
sometimes you get in your head and think you are.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of singers out there. That, and they're still singing.
And they're rich.
So, and that,
And they're rich. That's classic. There's all you rich singers out there that can't sing. I can give it up. And they're like, fuck that. I'm rich already. I'm rich, biatch. Yeah, it's funny.
yeah. So I got a little bit offended, and then that's when
I
Doug,
got a little bit offended.
and that's when Doug quit.
Right.
So everything kind of panned out, and then Ed, I invited him to come to the birthday, on his birthday, to the Eagles I already talked about. And that's how Gene kind of
Oh, so
connected
Gene
us
was the
on
orchestrator
Facebook.
of the
Yeah,
whole
he
thing.
He sent me a
Nice,
friend.
Gino. Way to go, bro. That's Gino for you.
Yep.
Yeah, so he sent a friend suggestion for Ed to me, and I accepted it, and that's when we started chatting about
Songs and shit.
And he just so he joined the band. We already had a set list, but when we started adding songs like crazy, and that's before Robbie came back into the picture.
Right.
And that was still with Brian Z, and we just started playing, and the chemistry with Ed was just great. You know, I mean, he and I was, you know, I've always been the leader of my band. I always said my whole life, if I didn't book bands, my band would never, you know, if I didn't book the band, we would never play anywhere. And that's probably the case. So,
well, there always has to be.
So I always did the business side.
Always
of it.
has to be a captain. You can't have a band that has everybody
on
saying.
stage, Ed was the boss. You know, Ed was the man. He's the face of the band.
Well, kind of that's how it has to be, but
Oh,
there
yeah.
always is a leader of a band. And it can always be the guitar player, but the singer is the guy that steers the ship when you're on stage.
Yeah, exactly. So that's we work together like that really well, and
Yeah, and this guy's a Raiders fan, and he's an Eagles fan, and they still liked each other.
I took him to Raiders.
And that rivalry's good, Robbie.
I took him to Raiders games twice. At the first Raider game I took him to up in Oakland, I was wondering who the fan was, and then he was just, Raiders! He was so crazy.
Well, what do they say?
Yeah, he was so fun, you know. He did some stuff that sometimes, you know, but you got to let a guy like that, you know, go.
Right.
Do his thing.
And
And he's the one who brought Holler and a Swaller to the band. He brought that from Wichita, Kansas. And we just can't let it go. It's just too cool.
you know, being an Eagles fan, he'd always do this thing, like, you know, Eagles, right? I believe he broke either his hand or his finger twice hitting my bass doing that, doing the fly thing, you know?
Right.
Yeah, because I'd be standing next to him and he'd go like that and just smack my bass. I know he broke his pinky once, and he'd go like this and just keep singing, and then we'd take a break and oh man, I broke my finger.
Well, I know when I was playing with High Voltage, when I'm on stage, I move around a lot. So I'm always touching whoever's beside me. I'll reach out and touch
Not
them.
Ed.
And my guitar player asked me one night, he's like, why do you touch me all the time? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, you always reach out and touch me. I'm like, I reach out and touch you to tell you that I'm there, that I'm coming by.
So does
Like I'm going to come by
smack you with
behind
the
you.
guitar?
Yeah. So and you don't want to bump into one another.
Yeah.
Like nothing makes you more like mortified when you're on stage and you're rocking. You boom, oh, you bump into the guy on stage with you. It's like, okay, clown show's in town.
Yeah.
So you know you got to kind of let people know that you're there, and that's what I always do at least. So you know now. What was Ed's background? Do you guys know much about it?
Ed,
He played in a cover, not in
he
an
had a
original.
band called Shiner.
Yeah.
Back in Wichita, and they were an opener for touring bands like Saliva and stuff like not.
Oh, okay.
You know, not big bands.
Right,
but
right.
More, so they were regional.
But bands that were nationally touring.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
come through Kansas,
Right.
and so they travel with them in that region. And so that was all I know about. He's been playing his whole life.
Right.
But that was the last big thing, and he came out here and he left all his equipment in storage, and he had no plan to. He never thought he'd play out here. That wasn't what he was thinking until the day he saw you guys at Harry's. That's when, boop, the spark.
I mean, he came out here. I believe he always did work on airplanes, right? On airplanes, on
Yeah, he's
interiors.
a sheet metal worker. He worked for Boeing for 25 years in Wichita.
Oh, okay.
And I think
Like
that's
all
what
you
brought him
guys have
here.
good gigs.
So work.
Like you got a good gig. You got a good gig, right?
Yeah.
Day gig?
Well, like day gig. Like you
Yeah,
like.
I've always had steady work. I've
Yeah.
raised kids and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I'm looking at my
Robbie.
thing here. Kevin Nova, come on, we see you.
Hey.
Kevin Nova says to you, Robbie, he's hit your bass a couple times too.
I'm sorry, man. I love you.
Kevin's watching?
Yeah, Kevin's watching.
Kevin.
We got Darren Bramer's watching, Leslie Hutton's watching, Cassandra Johnson's watching, Kevin Nova's watching, my buddy from Voodoo Lounge is watching. So yeah, we got some people watching.
Kevin's just in time
Any of you
'cause-
people watching, feel free to ask any questions you want to know anything about these two guys and their band. Feel free to shoot some questions. I'm checking it out here on my phone. Kevin Nova's giving you guys a smile. Cassandra's
That's our
laughing
singer
at
now.
you guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say he
Kevin's
tuned in
our
just in
singer.
time
Yeah.
because it's coming around to when he came in.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So your drummer. How did, I mean, I know you gave a little bit of spiel. You guys known him for a long time?
No. He played with Keith Cox from Different Strings.
Oh, okay, that's what you were saying earlier.
Time
He
Furnace.
had a band called Time Furnace before Different Strings. This
Really,
was-
that's a cool
Yeah,
name.
that's where I met him as well.
Yeah.
When
And
he was in
John-
Time Furnace?
Yeah.
From
Okay.
what John's told me, he didn't play music earlier in life.
Oh,
He
okay.
started playing like in his late 40s or something.
Now,
like
was
that.
Time Furnace gigging like we
Yeah, and
gig?
he's just really accurate, meticulous. He learns the songs. You know, I
Right.
mean,
Isn't he like an engineer or something like
He's
that?
he worked for NASA.
NASA. That
he's
somebody said that to me, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
That's why on the little blurb on the poorhouse thing, it's a rocket man. We had to work our gigs around launches. you know.
That's awesome.
Because any missile launch, as soon as a missile went into the out of the atmosphere,
Right.
he was done. It didn't matter what happened to the booster, like SpaceX stuff, all that
Right,
kind of
right.
stuff.
So John started playing music late in life, and unlike us, and so did Keith Cox. And that first band, Time Furnace, was kind of like that. Keith just decided one day, hey, you know what? I want to play guitar and sing.
I love
wasn't
Keith.
that
He's a
long
nice.
ago.
He's a
That
really
wasn't
nice
that
guy.
long ago.
He's a really nice guy. Keith is a really nice guy. So that's cool that you were able to just have him come into the band, and then the whole Ed Cream thing when he showed up with, Gene hooked you guys up. What were the first songs that you guys started, like set list wise? What was the set list you guys had? Was it pretty much the same set list you guys have today?
Well, yeah, he had to kind of come into what we had, but Ed started adding songs, and he goes, I want to pick the songs. And what he didn't know is every song he picked, I wanted to do anyway.
Right. That makes it nice, right?
Yeah, it was in the same
So I
genre.
just-
it was
Yeah, I let him think he was picking the songs, but he was picking.
Right. Oh, that's
So,
kind.
yeah, that's when
you
we
know us
started
singers.
doing better
You know
than
us singers
Ezra,
need that.
And we were doing Gin Blossoms, and it was all. He wanted to do '90s stuff just like me, so that's the direction we went. And I just he drove the ship on that stuff. And
Yeah, I can remember I come in and we're going to do better than Ezra. And I'm like, oh, yeah, right. I never heard of them. And I had to go home and do my homework, man. I had to start listening to 90s alternative and listening to these bands and who is this and who's that? Because I was always classic rock, and I didn't, I didn't want to look like an idiot. And I had to catch up real quick.
Yeah, I'd suggest some because I wanted to do Soundgarden song. Well, that's pretty lofty, for a vocalist, most
Very.
of them. So I kept listening to him, and I found Fell on Black Days. And he doesn't do super high, stratosphere vocal lines.
Right.
So we put that one together, and it came out great. That song came out great. So, every once in a while, because I'm trying to hit every band. The only problem is we butted heads on Nirvana. He hated
Nirvana for some reason.
It's weird. I did a Nirvana song, and I found it kind of difficult to sing a little bit.
The melodies that
The melodies are weird, but I'm really big on getting the tonality down. Like a lot of people, a lot of singers are like, well, I'm going to do it my version. I do not want to sing a song my version. I want to sound as close to Billy Idol as I can get. I add in my own nuances and add in my own things, when I'm playing it live and interacting with the crowd. That's a whole crowd
A
thing.
lot of the music we do, you kind of have to. I mean,
Yeah, I think so.
what's one we were just discussing? You got to get a little growl in your voice. Oh, it was Nirvana.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
see that growl and
Luckily,
that
Kevin likes Nirvana, so that worked out for us.
that growl and that tone is I can hit it, but it's almost like I got to work at that. I got to work at it a little bit, Where I can sing stuff like Journey and stuff like that, sing that really easy. But when it comes to and now, since I've been back, stuff like AC/DC and all that stuff, really difficult for me. I'm not hitting what I used to hit, so I can definitely understand
You
that.
get there.
Man, but you do an amazing job on
You'll
that
get there.
stuff. I've always been impressed by
Well, thank you.
when you do your AC/DC.
As one of those things where I grew up in the back seat of my brother's car, You know, the first AC/DC album was Powerage, and the second I heard it, it was like I'm sitting between, you know, two pioneers, just blaring through my head, and I don't know how, but I just was able to emulate that, you know. And
High school,
when I took vocal lessons, my first vocal teacher taught me a thing called emulation, and not a lot of teachers teach it. And it's a thing where she tells you, you know, emulate these notes. Those are easy because they're a note and it's kind of, you're singing it, right? She said, now go home and emulate everything you hear. Refrigerator, your car, a buzz, whatever. Pitch match that. And she goes, and after a while, you'll be able to pick any sound you want out of the air, and you'll be able to emulate it. And that's what I did.
Wow.
And that's how I learned how to do all that. Pretty strange, right? Kind
Yeah.
of freaky way to do it, but yeah. And then I've talked to other instructors that I've had over the years, and they're like, I never heard of that. It sounds weird. I'm like, well, I don't know. It worked for me. So, yeah. So we're going to circle back to this. I'm always saying that, circle back. It must be from the last administration, I guess, right? We're going to circle back to that and get into kind of like what you guys are doing today, where you want to go, and what you guys are looking to do in the future. We'll be back. What's up, North County, with the Rebel Bear Backstage Pass.
Hi, this is Dave Story, small game hunter with Story Termite and Pest. We're a full-service termite and pest control company. From rodents to termites, we can take care of all your pest control needs. Call today. We can tailor a pest control program that will meet your needs and budget. Contact us at 805-460-0650 or at storytermite.com. Remember, we don't have customers, we have friends.
Hi, welcome to Kennedy Club Fitness, where we have something for everyone. We have weights, cardio, group exercise classes, racquetball, basketball, swimming, and pickleball coming soon. Here at Kennedy, we're committed to health, wellness, and community. Stop by any of our 4 locations: Paso Robles, Atascadero, San Luis Obispo, and Arroyo Grande, or check out our website at kennedyclubs.com.
What's up, North County? You're back here with the Backstage Pass and the Rebel Bear. Some of our listeners and people that are watching are asking some questions. So they're asking, what is the most memorable moment or something that happened to you guys on stage that you just go, holy Lord, I can't believe that happened?
Oh, crap.
Oh, that's a rough one.
I've had a few myself, but
My most memorable with this band in particular.
I mean, you got to remember,
It was-
you've had Ed Cream on stage, so
Right.
there's got to be some crazy shit going on.
And
there,
no
right?
disrespect, no disrespect to band members now. I mean, some of them are newer, or well, Kevin's newer, but we were playing at Harry's, and it was about midnight, and I kind of looked out there, and now this happened back in the 80s and 90s when you go into Harry's, it'd just be wall-to-wall people. You couldn't move, and it's happened to you, and
Yeah.
High Voltage.
Oh, yeah.
I've been there. And we were playing, and I looked up, and this place is just wall-to-wall people. And I had been playing, and I never even noticed it because I want to say, like, the energy of the crowd gets to get you sometimes. And I got to say, that's one of the moments that hit me. Another moment that hit me was not nothing but trouble. It was with the Mean Gene Band. And I want to say we were playing down in Santa Barbara. And I realized that it was at that moment that I realized that sometimes the people you play with boost you up a little bit.
Oh, certainly.
And I was on stage with you and Brian and Gene, and I had to learn these songs real quick for you because you just got in with Gene. You just started playing with Gene.
Yeah.
And I was up there playing. I'm going, how am I playing these songs? Like, I don't even know them. And it dawned on me that I was just sucking energy off of you and Gene and Brian. Just sucking the energy off you. That was a memorable moment for me because I realized that I was just borrowing your energy.
Right. I think we as musicians, we feed off of one another, and when you play with somebody who you believe or feel is a little higher caliber, you're either going to fight or flight, and most of the time you fight, and you're like, hell yeah, I'm going. This is it. I'm jamming with who I'm meant to jam with.
No, on
and
the
it
other
just
hand,
becomes just magic, really.
I've had days playing where I was having physical issues and I was in pain.
Yeah.
And I sucked energy off of this guy. He'd be over there just jumping around. I'm going, if he's my age, if he could do it, I could do it. And I go over next to him and I just start rocking and the pain would go away.
Yeah.
So I've sucked energy off of him too, just like, you got to do it. You know, you got people dancing and wanting to do the thing. And my wife would always tell me, she'd get on me. I wear sunglasses all the time because I close my eyes when I play. And
Right.
she'd get on me for, you got to smile and look at the
Johnny
people.
punches.
So I just started wearing sunglasses so nobody could see me close my eyes. And she'd come on and smile, smile, smile. Okay. And so I would feed off of his energy because he's over there just bouncing. Yeah, so, yeah, it goes, yeah. So I've had memories of that. Those are memorable things for me.
Yeah, I think that when we're, like I said, when we're on stage, we're feeding off one another, and it's one of those things that makes it makes it more memorable for the crowd. You know, if we're just standing there and we're just going through the motions of, snuffleupagus, I'm just.
And then here recently, I have to say, I met Kevin at my sister's studio singing show tunes. This guy comes on stage, and I've been on stage with him and heard him hit notes that just brought energy to me that I can't even explain. Some of the notes he hits is just crazy to me.
Okay, like say Friday night, right?
Yeah.
You guys got up there, this happens to everybody, so anybody that's talking shit, don't. You guys were having that first song, were having some tuning issues because of the cold weather, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so.
Other people's equipment.
With other people's equipment, right?
Yeah.
So you guys made short work of that, in my mind. I could hear it, but you got through it. You tuned as you went. You made it happen, and it seemed like that first song, Kevin wasn't right there with it, and I do the same thing. My first couple songs, it's like, you're kind of still feeling the water with your toe. You're not jumping in. By that second song, he was frickin' swimming, and he was just. I forget what song he was singing.
It was Creep.
And he was nailing.
And it was so cold.
He was nailing the crap out of it. I was like, where did
That's
he did
one that just gives me goosebumps.
He
when
did the
sings
first
it.
song, and I thought, okay, everybody has it rough their first song, right? But the second song, you guys more than made up for it. It was like I was looking around and people were like going, "Whoa!" Like, holy shit! Like,
And on
okay,
top of that, so Kevin's never really sang in a band before.
right?
A while back he did play bass a little bit, but he's never sang in a band.
It's a totally different animal than playing an
And-
instrument and singing.
You understand that every time he sang, it's our stuff, and we sound a certain way on stage. That was
Right.
the first time he ever got on stage like that and sang on somebody else's sound system. So it kind of threw him off kilter a little bit, the first song.
Right.
But it took him a minute, and he tuned into it, and yeah.
He did well. The second song, I was really impressed. Like,
It's always weird for me to sit in on somebody else's stuff, and had we not been, we're scheduled to play there on Saturday night at the
Right.
Floor House at
Right.
7 in Paso Robles, and we're going to be on our stuff. So if you liked what we did on Creep, you're going to really like what we sound like on our equipment.
Definitely.
But yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Well,
but I wanted to promote the gig,
right,
and
which was a
Kevin-
great idea.
And I know Kevin can deliver on that song, so it didn't matter if I'm playing on a weird,
Right,
amp. And
an uncomfortable or
we'll make do.
Right.
And he just killed it.
I gotta
He
say,
did kill it.
we never did kind of hit on on our Central Coast family, our musical family, and I gotta say, Eric McCormick, man, that guy let our whole band hop up on a stage and just start playing.
Yeah, if you guys,
That's awesome.
if you guys want to mention any of the people that have helped you along the way or whatever, feel free to give them a shout out, because that's what this is about. It's about people finding out about other bands, other musicians, other venues, everything. It's like I want this to be, me and the guys here at What's Up North County, we want this to be a forum for people to ask questions and people to tune in and find out about bands they've never heard of. There's a lot of bands out there that I have never heard of that people are hitting me up now because they know I'm the host of this, and they're saying, hey, what about this band? Maybe you ought to get this band. Maybe. I'm like, I don't even know who the hell these bands are.
I'm with you.
And
There's a
so
lot of
I'm
bands
going
out there.
online and I'm looking at these bands and I'm like, there's some freaking great bands out there.
HA knows them more than I would because he was booking at,
I was
at
a
one of the
booking guy
venues
at the
down
Eagles
south.
all those years.
Right.
I booked you before.
Oh yeah, you booked me quite a few times.
I'm not booking
and
there
I
anymore,
appreciate
but-
that because you paid me quite handsomely.
Yeah, but both the Eagles, Santa Maria Eagles and the Oceano Eagles, every member of that organization has always been behind us.
Yeah.
100%. They followed us everywhere. Trish and Tim Reed, always been every show I've had, probably when they could make it, and
Bruce.
from Trouble in Paradise until now.
Bruce is
all my
always-
biker
we can't
friends
say, we
that
can't
I
say
ride
names,
with.
man. There's a lot of people.
Yeah, Bruce
Right.
McNella, Dave Perry, and Jennifer, all those guys.
Right.
I can't name everybody, but
And it used to be that when we were in Santa Maria, that was kind of where this band exploded with me in it, was the Santa Maria Eagles, and it got crazy. It got so many people would come to because it had to do with Ed, and it had to do with this is our home and you're our people.
Yeah, that is your home. I have to
know?
say that. Like
Well,
I did really well there.
Oceano is now, but
I did really well there with Rock of
That was
Ages.
like Ed's thing. This is our home and you're our people, and he would cater to them, and it made a big difference, man.
Totally.
Yeah.
I did really well there with Rock of Ages for the most part.
Yes.
But compared to you guys, not even close. Like you guys always pack it in there. And that's why I basically, you hit me up about
Poorhouse.
Poorhouse, and I hit up Leslie, and I didn't hear from her for a couple days, and then I hit her up again, and then she hit me back, Kelly, I'm so sorry, I just been busy, and I'm like, well, hey, I got this band. She goes, yeah, I got your last message. I'm like, they're a 90s alternative kind of grunge band. I said, and I think they would be great for your venue. And then I guess it took her a little bit to get back to you.
Yeah, she's
think she was a
busy
little
though.
busy,
Right,
yeah.
she's
She's
really,
busy
yeah.
with personal stuff. She's
Right.
got kids and sports
Totally,
and all kinds of
yeah.
stuff. So I follow her on Facebook, so I know.
But she
I'm busy too, so,
she
yeah.
reached out to you guys, I guess, I believe.
Yeah.
And then so I feel proud and honored that I was able to kind of broker that deal for you guys and get you guys in there, because I think that it's a win-win. It's a win for you guys, and it'll be a win for her as well. It's a great venue. Like,
Yeah,
you
because
know,
we've never, I don't think we've ever played over the grade.
We haven't
played
been
in
over
San
the
Luis.
Not in this lineup, not even with Ed. We've not been over here.
there's some great.
And I appreciate you getting us
Yeah,
up
we
here.
Yeah,
do
and
appreciate that.
I have
And this.
I have email of the owner for the Cal Coast Brew, Cal Coast there.
Yeah, I
in-
checked that
in-
out on Facebook. It looks like a killer venue.
Sweet venue.
Is that the one you're telling me
It's
about?
got-
Kind of a circle?
Yeah, it's got two stages.
Like an
It's got
amphitheater
one
thing.
stage that's, I think it might even have three now. I think it has a stage, like a small stage inside for when it's like cold, kind of like how the Poorhouse has. And then it's got another up top stage where you can play when it's like, I guess maybe like an afternoon gig or something like that. But then they have the bottom stage, which is at the very bottom, and it's got a little 6 or 8 inch stage, and or maybe it's even bigger now, because they've been working on the whole place. They have that, and it's 2 mezzanines that circle around. So you got one level, and then you got another level, and it's people just sitting on a mezzanine looking down at you.
Oh, really?
And it is, I played there the first time I ever played there. Brian Monzel called me up and said, "Hey man, come on, let's fucking go out and get crazy." I'm like, "All right, let's roll." And so
How
he's
many
like,
of those phone calls do you get from him, man?
yeah. So he's like sound houses at Calcos, let's go. So I roll over and I pick him up and we roll out to there. And the second we walk in, oh, we got Kelly Atwell and Brian Monzel in the house. And they finish up a couple songs and he gets off stage. He's like, "You guys are coming up next." And we're like, "All right." We knew what we were doing.
You talked about talking about people and this and that. Brian's one of them. It'd be a Friday afternoon. I didn't have a gig for the weekend. And even Wednesday nights, Thursday nights, call me up at 6 on a Thursday night. "Hey, Robbie, get your guitar. Meet me at so-and-so." "What? I need a guitar player." "What time?" "In a half an hour." "I'm in Santa Maria." "Well, you better get coming." and he would do that a lot. And not just with me, but with bands.
Yeah.
"Robbie, do you got a band?" "Yeah." "Robbie, can Nothing But Trouble?" "Yeah." He would do that a lot. And he's kind of slowed down because
Right,
he's
married
slowed down in that
and
area.
all that,
Married,
right.
but
Totally.
man, he did that a lot for us. Just last minute calls. "Can you get a band together? Do you have a band? Can you come play bass? Can you come play guitars?" And some of them were crazy.
Yeah.
"I need you here in 15 minutes. I'm in Santa Maria."
He's a fun guy. There's been many a nights where I would play with him either with Mean Gene Band, because he was in Mean Gene Band, obviously. Mean Gene Band or Rock of Ages, and we would finish a show, and then we'd be getting ready to head home, and he'd be like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Nothing." He's like, let's go to the drum circuit." And they had a studio in the back of the drum circuit that was the drum studio, and he'd say, "Let's go to the drum circuit and jam." And I'm like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah." So we go to the drum circuit at like 12:30 at night, and go in there, and he'd have his White Claws or whatever the fuck he was drinking, and we would sit there on drum sets facing each other, and he didn't teach me how to drum, but he taught me some really cool stuff. Like
Right on.
he's like, "Okay, emulate this," and we would sit there for hours till it was like, "Dude, it's 3 a.m. I got to go home."
We get done playing at the Frog and Peach. It'd be, 1:30 or 2. "Go to my studio. Let's go to my studio and
Yeah.
jam." And we go to a studio in San Luis, and it'd be 4 a.m. I got to go home.
Yeah, that was me too, dude. That was me too. So he's a fun guy. Yeah, definitely. So now, what is in store for you? What are you guys wanting to do? Are there venues other than the North County that you guys want to play at?
Well,
Yeah, I'm kind of.
I would say for starters, since Kevin's been in the band,
Right.
That's a whole nother hour.
All right.
It's
Well,
a whole nother hour.
we'll get back to that next. We're going to take a quick break, get
Okay.
to some commercials. Hey, what's up, North County Rebel Bear Backstage Pass? We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
My name is Jennifer Borhone Wescombe.
And I'm Haley Wescombe from Borhone Auto Center. Borhone Auto Center is a family-owned and operated GMC dealership. We are your go-to dealership for quality vehicles. With a vast inventory and personalized service, we are here to make your purchase seamless.
Whether it's a luxurious Yukon or a rugged Sierra, we have the perfect ride for you. Come see us today to experience the Borhone family difference. We are located on the corner of Highway 46 East and Golden Hill Road in Paso Robles.
Atascadero isn't your standard getaway. We're unique, just like you. We're growing, transforming, and figuring it out as we go. We're a town filled with innovators, artists, makers, and game changers. We're a little bit country, a little bit funky, and always authentic. We're here for your good times, your slow times, and your changing times. We are all in Atascadero. Come see for yourself. Learn more at visitatascadero.com.
Hey, we're back with the Rebel Bear and Backstage Pass. We're here with the guys from Nothing But Trouble. You guys, it's been a great interview. What is next on your agenda as far as what you guys are wanting to do? I still want to talk to you about some of the venues down there that I haven't played. Like, there's the new one. It's fairly new. It's the one where it's a big stage. It's outside.
The Stockyard.
Stockyard.
Yeah, that's a
How's
fun
that?
one there.
How's
That's a
that?
fun one.
Now, are they catering to a lot of the local bands, or is that?
They were, but now they're bringing in a promoter that's bringing in cover or
Tribute?
Tribute
tributes.
bands.
I've seen a lot
And
of tribute
I'm hoping
videos.
they swing back around to local.
Well, they
bands
should.
again. Yeah.
If you guys are listening, you got to remember to cater to the. I know you want to do your tribute bands, and I think it's great. I've been in a tribute band for since 2010 to 2023, basically on and off. So I know what being in a tribute band is like. It's great, and it's great for the venues because it brings in a lot of people. But remember to cater to the local bands because that's what keeps you afloat when those other bands aren't around. So just, you know.
So-
I've always wanted to play there, though. So it's a good venue.
It's a fun one. We played there, and it was
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
We enjoyed it. Yeah,
Now,
it
do
was a
they have their own backline or no?
Nope.
You bring they have a nice stage.
That's what
So
got.
they don't have their
But you're right out, kind of in the sun. You know,
they don't have
so-
their own system.
Nope.
Really?
Yep.
You can. One of the local DJs. I can't
Pony
remember
and
his name.
there's Pony and one of them is Pony and I don't remember the
Yeah,
other guy's
Pony.
name.
You can
They'll bring
hire
us-
him. He has a nice setup. We brought our own. Robbie runs our sound, and he's more meticulous than any sound guy as far as how we sound. You know, he makes us sound. You know, we sound big when we
Right.
play. We sound.
So you run all the sound,
Yeah.
and what do you think about that?
I would love to find a sound guy that would pay attention to our sound and not the way he wants to run sound.
Well, there you go. You
Because
guys
if you-
have it
yeah,
right there.
I
These
mean-
guys are looking for a sound guy. You know what Ronnie and I did was hire. Went through a couple different sound guys, and the problem with sound guys, for the most part, that are free agents. You know, free agent sound
Yeah.
guys that'll do sound for anybody. I kind of borrowed Eric McCornack from Soundhouse. I borrowed his sound guy Tom
Yeah.
for a while.
Frontera.
You know, yeah, Tom, right. And he got busy and wasn't able to run sound for me on a couple
Kind of
shows.
sound for me for
and I was
Midlife
like,
Crisis, and he
"God
was-
damn it," you know, because
Yeah.
Tom's a great sound guy, right?
Yeah,
and then
he is.
and then I was at the point where I would be like, well, I have the show booked, but I don't have a sound guy. I'm going to cancel it. And people were like, dude, you can't cancel a show. I can do whatever I want. You know, I can do whatever I want. If I don't want to play a show because me running sound, will it be good? Yeah, it'll be good. I don't want good. I want great. I want to be able to not worry about it.
See,
So-
I don't want to worry about it.
Right. That's what you guys
Now,
need to
here-
do.
But here's my issue is Nothing But Trouble has a particular sound.
Right.
And when we hire a sound guy, they're going to want to make it sound their way. And I've had that trouble
That's why
twice.
that's why you're paying them.
Twice. I've had
That's
that trouble
why you're
twice.
paying them.
And
You're paying them to run the sound the way you want.
Well,
if
we
you
have-
weren't paying them, then they could run your sound any way you want because you're not paying them. But the moment you say, "Hey, I'm going to put you on retainer. You're my sound guy, and I only want you to be my sound guy," and then that way, like my sound guy Bill,
Yeah.
you know, Ronnie and I have a sound guy. He don't run. The only people he runs sound for is his church. He's
Yeah.
biting the bit right now. He's like, whenever you're ready, man, I'm ready.
Ah.
And we tell him exactly what we want in sound check,
well,
and that's what
we
you
would love to have a sound guy. They're tired of me twisting knobs.
Put-
they call me
put-
the twister.
put an ad out. Put an
Yeah,
ad
well,
out.
we-
Like I said, these guys are looking for a sound guy. So if anybody's interested in running sound
We
and knows
have
anything
the
about
equipment.
it.
We
We have
just
the
need
equipment, just need
somebody
a sound
that,
guy.
once it's set up, we need to make sure.
Now, do
nothing
you
goes-
guys have a trailer or anything like that?
Yeah, all our road gear. We have two separate setups.
Okay.
I have a warehouse in Santa Maria, a small little warehouse for my company, and we rehearse there. I have a drum set, bass rig, guitar rig, a little Marshall, and a PA.
All right.
The only thing that has to come out of our road gear equipment is my guitars. Robbie takes his bass home.
Yeah.
And John brings his throne and his cymbals
It's
to
the
practice.
time to go. We just hook up and go.
Our entire
Right.
PA and everything's sitting in a trailer.
Yeah, I just I'm looking at a light right now. I'm just wondering if that should be on.
I kind of wanted to hit on, you said where we're going. I wanted to say real quick.
Go ahead.
We had a spot where when Ed left, and both of us kind of got a little depressed. Because we didn't have our band. It was our band. It was our family. We were a family. Like I told you before, we were a family before we were a band. HA put out an ad on Facebook, and it said, looking for a singer. And out of nowhere, Kevin goes, well, I might know a guy. He got in his truck and drove right to Kevin's work immediately. It says, you want the job, you got it.
I've known Kevin.
And that's because you'd heard him sing.
I met Kevin.
Yes.
I met Kevin. This is funny. Though it's not funny, Kevin might not laugh because it took 24 years to get him in the band. But in 1999, before we started playing Harry's, when we were just a three-piece, we went to Sunset Dunes, which is now Mongo's in the Central Coast Card Room.
Right.
Right there at the 4th and Ground.
Mm-hmm.
So they were called Sunset Dunes. So we go in there to play. Vicky, his girlfriend, is the manager of the place. She's working. We roll up, me, Dittman, and Raymond Hodgkinson with all this equipment, and we play. And we're doing Chili Peppers. We're doing all the stuff we're playing now.
Right.
And she calls Kevin, you got to get down here and see this band. They got more equipment than people. We were just three-piece. Kevin comes down. When I get home at 3 in the morning, there was a message on our, remember when you had websites and they had bulletin boards before Facebook existed? There's a post from Kevin on there going, man, I am blown away. And you guys were great. And HA, you are a maniac, is what he typed on there. And we became friends right then. And over the time of Trouble in Paradise, I tried to get him into the band when he had an opening, but it just, we all sang. So we traded, all four of us sang lead vocals.
Right.
So we were trading off and we didn't need a lead singer. And so it just never panned out until a year ago, this in about a week or so. February 6th is when I posted the thing, just like I did with when I got Demco back in 2017. I just posted something, MBT's looking for a singer. 6 days later, Kevin posts, I might know a guy. And he works at Santa Maria Tire on Grand in Arroyo Grande. I got in my truck, and I drove straight there, and I walk up, and I pull up, and the guy comes out, can I help you? And I go, is Kevin here? And he goes, he's on his lunch break, he's probably in his truck. So I walk up to his truck, and he's in the passenger seat taking a nap, and I knock on the window, and I go, and he goes, and I go, hey man, you want to sing in the band? And he goes, he wakes up a little bit and he goes, yeah, I think so. Yeah, okay. When he gets out of the truck, I'm like, sorry to ruin your nap, but so we had about 2 weeks of other obligations, and they started rehearsing with us in February last year, and he's the karaoke host at Harry's. He's been the karaoke host on Thursday nights forever.
I think that's where his singing
he's got a karaoke background, but his voice is just amazing, and it's opened up. We're doing songs I never thought we could do.
Well, all right, so Darren Bramer is asking, what is the best concert you both have been to? Like, what's the best concert you've
together?
Been to? Well, just yeah.
I don't think I've been to a concert with you.
I don't think so.
All right, so HA, what's the best concert you've been to?
Oh, those are rough ones.
Probably the Metallica Black Album concert in Jacksonville, Florida. I would have to say that was an awesome concert.
Mine would be a toss-up between Kid Rock in Paso and Aerosmith in Santa Barbara, local. They played, it wasn't that long ago, me and my wife went for Aerosmith, and they played just as well as they did back in 1978 when I seen them.
Really?
It was crazy good, yeah.
Yeah, my second is Alice in Chains at Vina Robles in 2018.
Oh, I went there with, I believe I went there with Gene.
That was a great show.
Yeah, I believe I saw that show.
So was the one that was in 23. That was a great show, too.
I saw Aerosmith at in Boston at the
at home, huh?
What was it called? The Civic Arena or something like that. And I forget what band, obviously a forgettable band, opened up for him. And then just before Aerosmith was about to come on, the house lights came on. And all these sirens went off, and they were like, people stay in your seats. They had it coming over the PA. Stay in your seats. We're having a problem. And fire department came rushing down the middle of the main aisle. It was the fire department, and the whole, like 20 of them, all came rushing down the middle. And then they all went out to the front and then broke through the barrier and went around the stage. And they had the barrier, you couldn't see it with the barrier closed, but with the barrier open, they had a stairwell that led up to the stage. So everybody went to the left and the right, and then the drummer and the bass player and the guitar players all went up and took off their uniforms and jumped up on stage. And then the last person to come in the line was the singer, Tyler. And he came up and dropped his uniform right before the stairs and ran up, and boom, the thing went off, and
that's awesome.
and everybody was just like, holy shit. We watched that show, and when we were leaving, and it's Boston, so it's a kind of a rough place. Me and my girlfriend are walking through the parking lot, and these two colored guys come. They were big. They came up and I was like, hey, did you guys like the show? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, holding my girlfriend's hand. I'm like, yeah. And they're like, well, we have 2 tickets. And we're like, what? And he goes, we have 2 tickets for their show down the street at this little club they played at all the time. And they gave my girlfriend and I tickets. The guy said, my wife's having a baby.
Was that like their home place?
Yeah, they were the house band there, in the beginning when they were kids.
Yeah.
And they said they're leaving here and going there as a secret show, and they're going to play after hours at this place. And we have tickets, and my wife's having a baby, and we can't go. So here, take these tickets. And we went down there, paid like $50 to park our car, and we went in there and watched like 15 minutes of the show. It was like this. But it was great. They were crazy. Yeah, so that's my story. I don't know.
Yeah, so
that's better than mine.
All stories are good, right?
So, like when you talked about when Ed got in the band and he brought in these songs and the band was Ed's
baby
flavor.
Right.
Let's say that. So now we got Kevin. And Kevin had to come in singing all Ed's songs because that's what we knew. So now we're trying
and it's what your fans knew also.
Yeah. So now what we're kind of doing is we're kind of giving Kevin, hey, what do you want to do? So he's starting to throw in these songs, and so far they've been pretty good songs. I mean, so what do we got? Wood, the Ghost of Tom Joad, Got Caught Stealing.
Been Caught Stealing. Jane's Addiction.
Yeah, that's a great song.
And he also wanted to do
by Alice in Chains.
He also wanted to do Smooth Criminal, which we do by Alien.
So now my question is, Smooth Criminal, another great song.
Yeah. Alien Ant
Wood,
Farm.
Yeah, the Alien Ant Farm version.
Yeah,
that's a great. You guys will nail it with that because that's a dancer.
Yep.
And it's still rocking, right?
He brought in Creep as well, I believe.
Creep was his.
The Wood. Now, I have been approached numerous times to do that song. Like Brian's asked me to do it. Ronnie's asked me to do it. Like, I've had a few people say, dude, let's do Wood. I won't touch that with a 10-foot pole. Just because the backing vocals and everything and the 3-part harmonies that are involved. And to me, it's like, man, you got to nail that to make it really.
There's the way we do it, and it's
you got
like the band does it. So he can.
Are you
going to
make it kind of make it?
Explain it.
Even though I'm not a great lead singer per se, I can sing. So I do the
lower part.
Like in that song, The Lonely Broken, that is Jerry Cantrell. So I do on that one and on No Excuses, we do that song.
Right.
I do the Jerry Cantrell part, and they're how you work those two vocal lines together is what makes their sound.
And it took a minute,
that's why I never wanted to really do it.
Lonely, broken by my master, and the harmony is by my master. That's Kevin, which is Lane Staley part.
Right.
And then I think teach thee on child love hereafter, and he sings over me on the high part. Then he takes off because he's doing Lane's part and I'm doing Jerry's part.
Right.
And that's the whole key to the Alice in Chains sound is those two guys and the way their vocals blend. And it's sounding good the way we're doing it right now.
We'll see. We're going to be doing it Saturday.
Yeah, you'll find out Saturday.
And
at the poorhouse.
At the poorhouse at 7 o'clock.
Poorhouse 7 o'clock.
And I'll tell you, the bass line's no joke on that either.
Yeah, well, that band was pretty exquisite. You know, it's a shame that that lineup didn't last longer. You know, because I watched a couple documentaries on them, and they had it rough. You know, Lane Staley lived in Jerry Cantrell's studio for like a year, like totally homeless. Like lived in his, like, slept on the floor in the studio, and then they would come in and like, okay, time to rehearse, and he would rehearse, and they would bring him food or whatever, or he'd go out and, you know, scrounge up some food somewhere. But that's where he lived for like a year.
Wow.
And they just pounded it out in this little studio, you know. So you kind of got to look at bands like that and go, you know, so many bands have had a rough go of it, and yet they still, you know, didn't give up and kept going.
Oh yeah.
And you know, we do it because we love it. You know, if you're out there doing it because you think you're going to get famous or you're going to make a whole bunch of money, you know, you're probably going to be miserable with it because you're not going to become famous and you're not going to make a whole bunch of money. And you know, it's the flip of 1,000,000 coins to get to that point. So, and most people never make it. You know, I've come really, really close where I thought this is it. You know, when I was 23, I had full production, full studio, full management, full everything. That was the ticket. Yeah, somebody tossed that ticket into the fire. You know, and it never transpired. Wow. So it's one of those things where you just go, you know, I just better do it because you love it, because it's what's in your heart.
You ever seen the story of Sully Erna from Godsmack?
No, but I love Sully.
Watch
Guy's
that.
talented.
He told me about it, and I watched it. It's pretty good, man.
Where's that, like Netflix or something?
I think it's Netflix. Isn't
He started out as a drummer, right?
Yeah, he's
he was
a drummer.
a drummer. He was like 80s drummer, but you know, he's been around forever. And, you know, got in big time bands. He was touring, you know, he thought, I'm the shit. And then everything, you know, it just fell apart. And then he gave up on it, you know, and then something came along and he started Godsmack, and he goes, I want to do it different this time.
When I first heard Godsmack,
front man.
When I first heard Godsmack, I was like, this is the face of new music.
Yeah, we're doing.
Unlike anything.
We do one of their songs. You'll hear it Saturday night at the poorhouse.
Unlike anything that was being done at that time in the late 90s. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come, we're pretty much done right now. So I want to thank my guests tonight, the guys from Nothing But Trouble. Tell them where you're going to be and what's going to be going on this weekend.
The poorhouse, Paso Robles, 7 o'clock.
Right on.
Hey, we're going to be in the small room, but it doesn't matter. We'll all squeeze in there and do our thing. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So I want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in and listening. We'll see you in a couple weeks. I'll bring in some new guests. And once again, Rebel Bear here on What's Up North County Backstage Pass. Thanks for listening. Have a great night.
Hi, this is Dave Story, small game hunter with Story Termite and Pest. We're a full-service termite and pest control company. From rodents to termites, we can take care of all your pest control needs. Call today. We can tailor a pest control program that will meet your needs and budget. Contact us at 805-460-0650 or at storytermite.com. Remember, we don't have customers, we have friends.
Hi, it's Alex with Suprema Meat Market. We are a Mexican meat market with a taqueria. Come enjoy our high-quality cuts and meats. We offer choice and prime Harris Ranch beef, as well as chicken, seafood, and pork items. In the taqueria, all of our tacos come with handmade tortillas. We also offer specialty items like chilaquiles and chile rellenos. Come enjoy Taco Tuesday with Suprema. We offer our tacos at $1.99 each. Suprema Meat Market is located at 8950 Montecito Avenue in Atascadero.
Are you tired of looking at that worn out concrete garage floor, patio, or porch? Look no further than MGP Coatings, where customer service reigns supreme. Our team goes above and beyond to ensure your satisfaction every step of the way. Before we even start coating, we meticulously repair your concrete, ensuring a flawless finish that lasts. And here's the best part. Our Pentec coatings are 4 times stronger than epoxy, so they won't chip or peel, making maintenance a breeze. Plus, they come with a limited lifetime warranty. Call us today at 805-952-5301 or check out our Facebook and Instagram and experience the MGP coating difference. Don't wait. Transform your garage, patio, porch, or driveway and become a part of the MGP coating family.
What's up, North County? This is Teresa Branch with Airflow Filter Service. We are a family-owned business right here in the North County. We have air filters, oils and lubricants, and hydraulic hoses. We provide services that include air filter cleaning, DPF cleaning, and waste oil collection. Come check us out at 1140 Ramada Drive, and we can help you with all your automotive and industrial vehicle needs.
Hi, this is Omid
And Deanna.
at North County Junk Removal. We are a business known for helping our neighbors and our community.
Let us help you save money and get rid of any unwanted items.
And rest assured that our professional team adheres to global standards of safety and recycling. We are fully licensed and insured for your peace of mind.
We are locally owned and operated, and we look forward to helping you with all your junk removal needs.
Please call us at 805-769-6966.
Atascadero isn't your standard getaway. We're unique, just like you. We're growing, transforming, and figuring it out as we go. We're a town filled with innovators, artists, makers, and game changers. We're a little bit country, a little bit funky, and always authentic. We're here for your good times, your slow times, and your changing times. We are all in Atascadero. Come see for yourself. Learn more at visitatascadero.com.
Hi, welcome to Kennedy Club Fitness, where we have something for everyone. We have weights, cardio, group exercise classes, racquetball, basketball, swimming, and pickleball coming soon. Here at Kennedy, we're committed to health, wellness, and community. Stop by any of our 4 locations: Paso Robles, Atascadero, San Luis Obispo, and Arroyo Grande, or check out our website at kennedyclubs.com.